So thank you for taking the time out of your life, which may not be as busy as you would like it to be. Maybe the number of rooms in your home is not enough and you don't get out and have enough exercise. So I want you to remain safe, keep social distancing, and remember that doesn't mean you can have 12 people hanging out 6 feet apart. No, it's only in terms of social distancing when you're out walking. So I looked at the chart for this month. What really stood out for me before anything else was the moon on the right-hand side of the chart. And it's in the part of the sign of Cancer, where it rules. The part of Cancer is the Scorpio part. So Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and everything that I've said about Pluto before, or later, if you will really make an awful lot of sense now. So it is a picture where the people are being kind of poisoned, if you will, not being allowed to regenerate in the direction they need to. So the people are going to need to develop one thing: faith. Faith that they will get through this. This chart says it is possible with faith. And so I'm wishing you all the very best, and I hope to see you again in the month of May. Stay safe. Thank you. Here's the chart for the month of April 2020. This chart has an Aries sun and rising with a Cancer moon. This Aries ascendant calls for creative adaptation to the need for finding a new direction. But the moon square the sun calls for reordering of our priorities in the face of the crisis which is at root of all events and activities this month and beyond. This moon is the only object on the right side of the chart, other than the south node, which is not a physical object. The moon represents us, the people, and so the task falls on us as a people and on humanity as a whole to respond with corrective actions everywhere on Earth. These actions form from the entrance of Saturn into Aquarius, calling for a radical transformation that emerges from a worldwide spiritual awakening. Now, if you know your moon and rising signs, please listen to those as well. Aries, you will have to express your feelings, and that will help realign your priorities. The change you seek is as much within as it is without. Taurus, you supply the labor and resources that people depend on, but you are held back by indecision. Reorder your priorities because a revolutionary change of values is underway. Gemini, the hard thing for you is not being skeptical. Survival here means learning to believe, or at least having faith in the future. All your own conflicts are dwarfed when you see the political and social reality. Cancer, dig deep, quietly if you need, but dig deep into your feelings and your mind. Find what is weak in you and make strong efforts to strengthen yourself. Leo, participate authentically in the transformations that are underway. Your creative ability is needed, and it is time to call on your ability to support those who are personally engaged in transformative actions. Virgo, one way to relate to all of this is to just meditate. The changes you are experiencing are not likely to fade away anytime soon, so this is a kind of a mind clearing that will help you be there for others. Libra, this is all about validity. The easy thing is to surrender the past. The hard part is working with others and building the foundations of the future. Scorpio, believe you can look at the world and fill it with beauty, but if you see the situation in purely negative terms, you might not be able to participate in awakening others to the need for change. Sagittarius, what you need is to use your powers of understanding to assist others struggling with this change. This is a time for adaptation and changing your way of living with the planet as opposed to on it. Capricorn, hard hit from before and since January. The hits keep on coming. Possible issues with employment are on the horizon. New resources are needed, at least, if not a new profession. Aquarius, focus your sense of identity and transformation. It is necessary to do this in order to feel the emotional side before you can act on making sudden changes. Transforming your everyday values comes first. Pisces, thoughts, billions of them, swimming in a sea of ideals that may never ever be realized. Express yourself, because your spirit is quite aware that the suffering of others is not separate from your own problems. The major factor this month, the key, is the conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn. The last time that this happened in Capricorn was 1771. And we know what was on their minds, don't we? Well, it's that time again. And the responsibility, as always, falls on the people to take action. Since governments tend to resist real change, this conjunction is a follow-up to the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that happened last January, which accompanied a worldwide failure of social and political structures. Pluto's symbolic function of revival necessarily involves, first, the elimination of what is obsolete. To my mind, this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction also includes Saturn. The opportunities for change and new paths forward are huge for this, but the way is lined with many opportunists, not the least of which occupy powerful positions in government, finance, and corporate power. What we are looking at is the failed promises of the American Revolution of 1776, because Pluto has only 3 degrees remaining before it returns to its natal position in Capricorn. The eruption of the new coronavirus, Pluto, calls into question the validity of certain long-held assumptions about the structures and sustainability of civilization as a whole and its ability to adapt to new conditions. This chart shows fear-based political power being wielded with little or no regard for truth or reality, all of which calls for a moral awakening, a spiritual awakening.